Hey guys, Aaron back here with another video today, and as you can see, we're kind of doing things a little different for the new player guide today. The main thing I wanted to kind of talk about today is some resources that new players can utilize in Destiny to actually help assist them, whether it be appraising god rolls, cleaning out their vaults, moving things in and out between the game that some people like using, some people don't. Um, Actual checklist for the season to see kind of where you're at on progress and like stuff you can do for bounty stacking if you want to prep for next season, for big expansion coming out, and even stat rolls and appraisals. So we'll kind of like start from the beginning and kind of briefly go into each one. And don't worry, all the links for all of these tools will be in the descriptions below. The only thing you'll have to do is sign in with whatever platform you primarily play on or your Bungie.net account, and if they have it linked, it's fine. You can use that too. Um, but we're going to start with Dim because this, quite frankly, is one of the best tools I think I've ever seen for Destiny, specifically to be used. Now, you notice I am using the beta version. That is because I do have my stream deck set up so that I can just, if I want to pull a specific item from a vault, I can. But that's just me. And as you can see here, because I have logged in, has all three of my characters right here. I have my Titan, my Hunter, and my Warlock. It gives you your maximum total power. You can see your power without your artifact bonus, and then your artifact plus power. It even breaks it down like what you have, what's in your postmaster. I can actually collect stuff for my postmaster if I was, on the game right now, which obviously I am. Destiny addict, I'm crazy. Um, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here. So one of my favorite things you can do is if you want a specific gun. All right, let's say you're looking for, oh gosh, I don't know, like, because we'll say Polaris Lance, right, as an example. You can literally just start typing in the name, and it'll go through your entire inventory vault across all three characters and find the item for it. If you want it, what you have to do is drag, drop. Look, wow, gasp, it's on my character. That's insane. Don't have to go to the tower. I don't have to do anything of that. And if you're wondering if this is allowed, it is. Bungie's okay with it. Now, Bungie's going to be implementing some stuff later on to kind of add into the game. We don't exactly know. I don't know if it's at the beginning of the season. I think it's a little bit later on after. But my main point for that is I think it's important that at least new players have access to this because maybe they don't want to use the in-game stuff. Maybe they don't want to, use the loadout system that's in the game. They want to use something else. I want to make sure that everybody has these tools available to them because honestly, it took me forever to find a lot of this stuff, and I heard through other people. So if I can make a free-form, long-term video just kind of talking about it, it just makes more sense. But the other cool thing too is if you go to progress, you can see it'll take a little bit to load. And now, just as an FYI too, if a new season comes out or if a new expansion comes out, obviously the database isn't going to be up to date. But if you go onto progress, you can see where you're at on streaks and actual reputation levels on every vendor that's available. So since Trials is up right now, you'll see Trials, since they'll be there anyway. But it'll show everything. So like Iron Banner, it doesn't say what reset I'm on, but I know because I did it. I played so much. I'm up to I think almost the second reset. Here's some milestones and challenges. You can have track triumphs in here. You can have powerful rewards, seasonal challenges, all the bounties I have completed so far. Yes, I'm bounty stacking. I'm an insane man. I know. All my quests. I need to go through and complete these. I know it's bad. Some legacy quests, some stuff for the Captain Atlas, which was last season, raids, and you can even click on here too if you just want to kind of click through. It'll take you to whichever one you want. And I can go to my Hunter, do the same thing. Go to my Warlock, do the same thing. Very useful tool. Can't recommend it enough. One thing I want to notate too is that your reputation carries across for each character. So if you want to change it up and play another character at some point in time, you absolutely can. I recommend as a new player, you kind of just start off with the one character to kind of play, just because, especially going for high stat roll armor, it can be a little crazy and daunting. Play as much as you want. Don't burn yourself out. Don't sit here and play this game for 12, 16 hours a day. Spread it out and just have fun with it. And do whatever you want to do. Set mini goals for yourself. And that's how you can like track it all here too. Now, if you go to vendors, vendors allows you to pretty much see more or less what items left that you haven't claimed yet, what bounties are available. So like Ada would have all these material exchanges for mods, but those don't matter anymore. The armor that she has here, if you have the checkbox, typically means you just have it. So if you don't have it, you can go in and go pick it up. And if it's that color specifically, I think it means you just have it. Well, you have it transmogged, so, or you have it in your inventory. It's like anything with a green check mark I've claimed. Anything here I'm still waiting to be claimed. So like I need to go pick up that shader from the drifter. I forgot to do that. I don't really go to the drifter that much. Trials, as you can see here, here's all the different items here. So you have a forgiveness. You can actually click on the weapon too. It'll even pull it up, show you a view of it, show you all the possible stat rolls for it. And it even shows you, in a way, what a lot of people like to use. You can hover over each perk and tell you what it does, give you actual breakdowns. Like, it's insane. It is absolutely insane. These tools are here. They're ready to be used, and there's no reason not to. If I want to take a look at my star chart, too, to kind of see where I'm at on that, too. You can see here, I haven't done deep sight focusing yet because I have all these guns that I want. So I can go in here if I want and just get one. Also tells me how many legendary shards I have and the energy I have specifically for that vendor. Focusing. Also, sorry if I sound a little nasally. I am a little under the weather today. Just sinuses and gunk. So I do apologize in advance for that. I probably gotta pick the better day to record, but I wanted to at least get this out, get this uploaded. This will probably be up probably next week. I'm trying to keep a weekly upload schedule for you guys. I know I am going to be covering stuff for the Warlock and Hunter soon. I just want to get a better understanding of those classes and actually say things that are correct and not give people the incorrect information. So forgive me for that. But over here, you can see like this vendor here. I haven't done any umbral focusings. Go here. You can see, oh, I have 14 energy and 32 of the resonance. I just know what those are because I played so much. But you can even do the Quest Archive, you can do Master Raoul, you can do Ikora. You can literally see any vendor you want, and you can see it on every character. Now, granted, the vendors across each character, that's not really going to change too much because those rewards carry over and track. Now, the main thing that's important that I want to cover are loadouts. This is eventually a thing that's going to be in Destiny 2, but if you prefer to use DIM, you absolutely can use this. Not only will it carry over your transmogs, it'll carry over all your aspects, all your fragments, and all your equipped mods and gear, and it will pull it right from DIM onto your character. Now, obviously, because this build here, right here, that I had prior, including for Stormnades, is a different Heart of Immoslite than I had on before because I got a better one with a stat roll. I need to go in and update this. But at any point in time, I'm like, man, you know what sounds fun? I think I want to play my melee bonk build. I'm going to click apply. So it's applying right now. Go over here to Destiny. Bam. It has changed everything. Granted, I also need to change my Warlike Splendor just because I have a way better one now with a better stat roll. So I need to update that as well. But as long as you're on top of that, it will even update your actual look too. Really nice. And this thing is just amazing. Especially when you set your mods and everything, you've done everything you wanted to do. Never have to ever worry about it again. It'll even tell you when it's done. It'll tell you if the loadout succeeded. It'll tell you if there's any problems, etc. I mean, it's a really nice tool. And even on the Hunters and the Warlocks, they have separate builds for each character. Now, how you want to build the loadout is entirely up to you. You can go through and manually do it. You can go through and just equip everything on your character that you want, and then click Save Loadout, and then do it that way. Entirely up to you, however you want to do it. There's no really right or wrong way to do it, so long as if you want to do it that way, you can. Yeah, pretty straightforward. There's really not a whole lot to say about that. Now, the organizer, this is where you can put in a query for dim, and you can actually organize, lock, and unlock armor, weapons, depending upon what you want. But before we get into that, that's going to be an entire separate thing with this thing called Destiny Recipes. I right now really want to cover D2 Armor Picker. Now, it's a little daunting at first. I understand it. What this allows you to do, it allows you to go through and pick stats that you want, be guaranteed at 100. It picks every possible armor combination from your vault and your inventory for that specific character to determine what is the highest stat roll you can get. So let's see. I want 100 resilience. Okay. And because I want 100 resilience, I can't get 100. I want 100 recovery. Because I want 100 recovery, I can't get 100 resilience in anything because I don't have enough. I don't have a good enough stat rolls on armor. Okay. But I can have 100 discipline, intellect, or strength. Okay. So we're going to set this back to 0. And we do 100 resilience. All right. We're going to do 90 recovery. And I can do 90 discipline. So right now, I can only do 190, 90. And I can only do that with a Heart of Inmost, either a Heart of Inmost Light or a Crest of the Falling Star. And that's what it involves. Now, it'll even also tell you the breakdown here of how many Ascendant Shards it takes, Prisms, Legendary Shards, and Glimmer, and even give you the energy. Now, the energy, that's not going to matter next season, so we're not too worried about that right now. But if you notice here, we can have 100 strength. We have 90 recovery. So actually, I'm going to be honest with you, that's pretty good. Now, if you look, though, none of those contain an exotic that I want to use. So you can even break it down further. Let's say if I want to make sure that it uses the Lorelei Splendor Helm. Okay, so you click that. Now, another thing to notate is if you go in here, too, on Solar, if you have specific things that give you debuffs, you can mark that with the Ember of Malevolence, Tempering, Torches, etc. Now, if you don't have anything, that's fine. So we're actually going to go ahead and go on my character real quick on Destiny just to see what I have for my build. So we have Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Tempering, Ember of Torches. Tempering, Torches, and Empyrean. Okay. Now we got that turned on. We want to use Lorelei. So we can only get 70 recovery now, but we can still get that strength. So we'll use strength for 100. We only get like 60 recovery. Now, honestly, however you want to do it is fine. It's up to you. But if you can see here, it is choosing all the stats. It gives you the total stat breakdown, how much armor it's going to take for each piece. And it'll even spit out a query for you to actually use. So what you'll do is you'll click this. You can click open a loadout on dim or copy it on clipboard. You click open loadout on dim. This will load up on dim. Always takes a second, unfortunately. But I should just cut these out. And then bam, right here. Here's my entire loadout. Class item doesn't matter, so that's totally fine. We're not too worried about anything else. So I'm not actually going to use this, obviously. I just wanted to kind of show that off. But you can do the same thing for your hunter. Obviously, I don't have anything that meets that criteria for hunter. I want 100 mobility on my hunter. The only other maximum stat I was going to get is intellect because I don't have a lot of armor on my hunter. But I have 50 combinations. Titan, I have 117 armor pieces, and Warlock, I have 38. I don't really play my Warlock or hunter that much. Very much a Titan main. Also, as you say, I don't have a lot of the exotics for Warlock yet, so. Yeah, it's a very nice tool that really allows you to min-max your armor, kind of see where you want, see what pieces you want. And it breaks it down very granularly for you. It gives you a lot of good data that you can use to build the character that you want to build. That's D2 Armor Picker. Very important tool. Can't recommend it enough. Now, obviously, on this site, you will have to sign in when you get there. So, just as an FYI, just be aware of that. There's also armor investigation, so you could, actually filter out your armor. You can see your individual stat values if you want to as well. So useful tools. Now here we go. This is the other important site I wanted to talk about, which was DestinyRecipes.com. This site allows you to see where you're at for the season, for prep for next season, where you're at on vault space, at least a certain amount of legendary shards I want you to have, ascendant shards, stuff like that. Things that'll really help you, go preparing for the next season, since we only have a couple weeks left. Now is the time to probably be prepping and getting ready for next season. As a new player, I really wouldn't invest a whole lot of time into worrying about where you're going to end up, because everybody's going to be at the same level starting at the beginning of next season anyway. The only difference is that, we may not have to masterwork as many pieces of armor as you guys do, but it's still good to at least try to push to that end of high-end content so you can get those ascendant shards, because the push is going to be even harder at the start of next season, because everybody's going to be at the lowest possible gear score and have to work their way up to get pinnacles. And we'll cover that in another video to kind of talk about how you should go about, getting your powerful drops, your pinnacles, etc. And we'll go over that entire thing. But the entire idea is that a pinnacle is essentially something that gives you a guaranteed +1 past powerful cap, and that's how they do their gear score ceilings. But we'll cover that in an entire other video. My buddy Travis is excellent at that, and honestly, I may actually have him explain that in a video with me if he wants to, just because he's way better at that than me. I actually learned how to play Destiny from him. So, anyway, so scrolling down here, you can see we have different weapons they want you to get, like Deliverance, Riptide for Fusion Rifle. It's the raid one. I've not done raids yet, sadly. I would love to do one. Different shotguns you can get, like Renora's Axe, which you can't get anymore, because Iron Banner's over. First in, last out. Heritage. Hung Jury Adept, which comes from Grandmaster Nightfalls. Only Adept weapons pretty much allow you to just get Adept mods. It's the whole thing. Doom of Chelchis. Burnished Metal, Thoughtless, Succession. Now, I do actually have Thoughtless crafted, but I haven't cremated it yet. And it even tells you what the targeted rolls are on that you kind of want. Same thing for Cataclysmic, Fire and Forget, Spellspike, Pitch Glass, Storm Chaser. All these different weapons and different targeted things that you would want. This is a healthy vault space, helping me have a consistency. As you can see, a lot of my pieces of stuff come from armor. I have 155 free, and I have 326 weapons. Enhancement prisms, I'm looking good. Enhancement cores, I'm looking really good on. Ascendant shards, good on. Upgrade modules, I'm a little low. Now, these resources are across the board, so these will obviously go in between your characters. So there's no need to worry about, any of that. It also shows you all the different bounties that are possible for you to go pick up and that you should probably pick up and do, especially for bounty stacking if you want to kind of get ahead on that. But in general, this is just kind of, again, a nice data stream to kind of see and show everything for bounties, collecting gear, kind of just where you're at. Now, the power list, this is important. This will show you, where you're at on your power level for each character here. And you can kind of show you what gear score, your maximum gear score you can be at. So for my Titan, my maximum gear score right now is 1589. I am 3 pinnacles away from being 1590. So I'm close. I'm right there. It even gives me stat rolls on my armor. So like obviously A, and then S for your armor. Now I will tell you right now that your class item's always going to be S, just because you can't put any more stats into it than what you have. It also tells you have season pass rewards waiting, so I'm actually going to get on my other characters probably here today and just knock those out. It also shows me, what pinnacles I have left to do. I got the Nightfall weekly score, I got the Wellspring challenge, weekly Vanguard strikes, the Spire of the Watcher, campaign pinnacle, etc. Oh, and then also I have the weekly rotator dungeon, which it doesn't show on here. It's odd. Maybe because that one's more of a rotator challenge, it's not going to show that. That's weird. It should show that. But it's really nice breakdown. Again, you also have to sign in on this site, just as an FYI, guys. So just something for you to be aware of. Here's your loot companion. This will show you your latest weapons and latest armor pieces that you have obtained for anything, or be Titan, Warlock, Hunter. You can have an auto tag armor if you want to when you're playing. how to tag weapons, but I don't primarily use this tool. I use this tool. What this will do is this will go through. You can choose what archetype, what damage type of weapon, what equivalent rolls you want to keep. Keep already locked armor if you want to do that too. You can remove sunset armor. You can keep raid armor. You can keep it in a loadout. You can tag as favorite. You can even fine tune it specifically to whatever you want for that. And this will actually go through your vault for every single item that you have. It will lock it if it's important, if you want to keep it. If you don't want to keep it, you can keep it unlocked. Actually, I'm going to do this anyway because I just think good. So we're going to keep already locked items. Keep already if locked. Exotics curated. Keep as power level. Current rolls. And we're going to click review my vault. As you can see here, anything on the left side they want you to keep. Anything on the right you don't. Roll all the way down. Now, obviously, right here, they're telling me to get rid of Quicksilver Storm. I'm not going to do that. Sometimes the thing is a little weird, so just make sure you kind of go through here and you kind of look at each one of your items, and you can go through all of your weapons and armor. So, very, very useful tool. I can't express to you how much this has saved me on vault space over time. The final thing I want to talk about, not to keep this video too long, I really want to talk about this site called FightGG. This site is what you will use if you're curious about a weapon's rolls, any weapons that are currently in rotation for certain things, etc. Very, very good site. Personally, use it occasionally here and there. You can also get opinions on other weapons if you're kind of curious about how they feel, how they use. Even exotics, it even tells you what the daily loss sector is, what the daily Wellspring challenges, even Vanguard, what Banshee has, what Ada has, Star Horse's favor, the entire loot pool in there right now. I mean, tons and tons of stuff. It even tells you all the new perks and weapons and Iron Banner gear and all stuff from the current season as they come out, when they come out. So if you need a one-stop shop place for everything, you can do that here. You can also, one thing I really like to use is the God Roll Appraiser. Now, again, for all these sites, you have to be signed in. Now, sometimes they'll say, hey, you need to be using Firefox because when you use Chrome because of that. I just use Firefox because I love Firefox. But this will go through and get everything for your game and will actually show you all of the different I guess where I can talk today. My brain's dead. Okay, it will show you all of the different God Roll weapons that you have according to FightGG. At the end of the day, whatever you want to use is what you want to use. You know, if you want to use fun perks, you know, use what you're going to use. But the game is going to show you what some of the best case scenario rolls are for that gun. And you can even break it down further. It will show you. Now, it's not going to show you enhanced perks. That's one thing they have said for those rolls. But if you scroll down here for the Aquilos SMG, which is a very good SMG, by the way. It even tells you what perks are good for PvE, what perks are good for PvP. And you can see this based upon the color here at the top. Blue is PvP, red is PvP, and then gold is both. So, if you're using a PvP, Feeding Frenzy and Frenzy are a good combo. Threat Detector, Jolt Shot, or Feeding Frenzy, Jolt Shot. Flared Magwell, you know, all that good stuff. So, personally, I always like to use Feeding Frenzy, Jolt Shot on mine, but that's just a personal opinion. I just kind of like that. Threat Detector and Perpetual Motion aren't bad either. Also, Feeding Frenzy and Frenzy aren't bad because you get really good reload speed. It even tells you, curated, what people are using a lot on that gun. So, a lot of really good use cases. And I can't express to you enough just how much I love this site. It has saved me so much time just trying to figure out, what potentially has changed, what isn't good. One of the things I do like about it too is it'll actually show you, the updates for certain armor pieces and just how good they are. Now, obviously, like no backup plans is an example. It tells you where it comes from, solo, legend, and master loss sectors. And it tells you right here, what it does for exotic perks. When you have a full void melee energy, shotgun final blows grant void overshield and consume your melee energy. Shotgun final blows also give you melee energy, provides a moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness stat for shotgun. The last part's probably going to be effective more or less with Strand and Lightfall, but just in general, because airborne effectiveness is kind of getting moved across the board. And then you can read some comments here if you want to read comments. Not going to do too. That's pretty much all I had for the video, guys. If you have any comments, questions, or anything else you'd like to see me, touch on or improve on in the videos, definitely let me know in the comments below. And appreciate y'all's time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. I will catch y'all in the next video, Guardians. Peace.